Welcome back to the church preview. It's just Carl and I this week. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Jim. How are you?
I'm okay. I've had this lung issue, well, all of my life, but specifically the last few weeks, and I know a lot of folks have been praying and asking after it. I'm still doing okay. It just some days I get to the top of the stairs and have to catch my breath. I think it's results of whatever lung issues that I have. I've never smoked cigarettes, so it's not from that. It's just a natural lung thing that I have. But life goes on.
I'll pray for you. Yeah,
Lots,
absolutely.
lots to be blessed about. And the first thing I wanted to mention, going back to last Saturday, actually, was the Beauty from Ashes that we talked about on the preview last time. I
Yeah.
was able to attend, and there were a handful of us there, and it was a really good experience. So, yeah, I wanted to say thanks to Beth for joining us last week here and for putting that together. And I believe I can announce this. There's no reason not to. That we'll be meeting again this Saturday, 10 o'clock at the same place, 12 Stone. So it's a coffee shop here in Bismarck. So yeah, I thought that was an awesome experience. And we're continuing in the seven wonderings of the world. Last week we did the second wondering, and
Yep.
yeah, how'd it go? How'd you feel it went?
Well, I think it went. I think it went great. Both days,
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, good.
You guys get the advantage of having me have at least run through it once in Fargo, but
We do appreciate. Thank you, Fargo, for being the dress rehearsal for for the service in Bismarck. The fantastic music, the very practical message. By the way, going back, you held up. Thank you.
All right.
Very practical stuff. We were all able to walk away, and one of the goals I have as a human being is just to be a better man. I've always in the back of my mind as I grew into from teenage to adult and young family man and heading a household. I just want to be a better man. I want to be good, right? And there's a lot that goes into that, but keeping it vague makes it easy to latch on to whatever I'm feeling God is directing me towards. So I think that
Right.
helps. But
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong if you aim to be like Jesus and you follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit. They're not going to lead you wrong. You can't make a wrong decision that way. We can make wrong decisions, obviously. I think we're both proof of that. But with those two criteria, if you're resembling Jesus and listening to the Holy Spirit, we're going to be way better off than if we're not.
and in a weird way, it takes the pressure off because I know I can't be perfect. So I'm doing the best I can today. And if I do just a little bit better tomorrow, that's a good life, I think.
Yeah, and I hope people towards the end of my message, and that was one of the things is accepting Jesus, and it does take the I called it performance pressure to perform, to be good enough, and it takes it off. And in the example I used, I still stand by it. It's like with you're married, happily married, and I'm happily married, and the reason we're happily married is because we love our wives and we want to serve them, we want to see them happy. So if there are things out there that we could do that would make them unhappy or sad or hurt them, well, then they're off the table. We just don't do those things.
Right.
That's not to say I don't unintentionally, annoy my wife. I do. She would be the first to say, but it's unintentional, and it's because we love Jesus and because of his love for us that we're not performing. We're being. And you're right. It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, good. So this coming week is week 3. So question 3, what are we asking? What is everybody in the world asking? By the way, are these sequential? Was it the number 1 question that you found, the number 2, or is it not in any special order?
No, that's a good question. I don't think they are
Okay.
in any order. I think they're probably, well, I'm sure one of them gets asked more than others, but no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I should probably find out, shouldn't I?
Well,
Or one
I
of
know
us
you
should.
you brought it from a number of sources. So however it comes out, I didn't think that they were, but it just occurred to me maybe there is something we're leading towards. But the third question is what? So what is the one that we're talking about this week?
The third question is probably, now that you say that, it's got my mind kind of wondering. I mean, they're all really important questions, but it's what does the future hold for me? And then the little addition to that was added on every once in a while was and my family. What does the
Oh,
future hold
right.
for me and my family?
Yeah. So you're
Um,
bringing a psychic on Sunday, is that?
I am.
Oh,
Yep. We'll
nice.
have a
Yeah.
crystal ball. We'll have some tarot cards. It's going to be very, very wrong.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. Just to be
No,
clear.
we won't do any of that.
Yeah.
But so what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide that because there's I think there's a couple things that people mean when they ask what does the future hold for me. So if you're asking biblically what does the future hold, any Christian is going to tell you the future is eternity in heaven with God, glorified bodies, no pain. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, right? No
Right.
sin, no grieving.
And as a Christian, that feels like an easy answer. Like, okay, well, I can just check that one off. What does the future hold for me? Check. Eternity with God. Okay, but I've still got a few years left here, presumably.
Right.
So maybe are you going to narrow that down a little bit? Maybe
Right,
focus on the life here.
Yep, exactly. So you are on point with your answer there. The Christian answer, the church answer to what does the future hold. Most anybody that has spent 15 minutes in a Bible believing church knows the future is eternity in heaven. So that one's kind of continually stated throughout the gospel. So we're going to look at the second part, which is kind of more the immediate future. Everything before we close our eyes for the last time, what does that future hold for me? And we're going to answer that. And to do that, I'm going to go, I thought for sure I'd be in the New Testament, and I probably will reference a little bit of New Testament, but there's a story in Exodus 16. And when I start describing this, I think most people will remember it. It's where the Israelites have come out of slavery and God is going to provide for them. So there's this bread from heaven. We've heard that. We've also heard it called manna. So
Manna,
it's manna. Yep. And how God provides manna because that's what they need. And we're going to look at that. So if anyone wants to read ahead, kind of equip themselves for what they're going to be seeing, I would suggest Exodus, maybe a little bit of 15 for context, Exodus 15, and then Exodus 16 as well. Cool.
Well, I appreciate that, and a really cool tie-in. So, God provided, and if I remember the story right, it was in the morning that they would go out and collect the manna that had appeared. So, what are we doing this Sunday? In addition to some great music, the service, we're having breakfast. Whoa, there it is. Breakfast. I get so excited. Yeah, my voice cracks. Breakfast after the service, right? That's our potluck for this month. So, challenge to anybody out there: make manna.
Manna,
Bring in some breakfast manna for us all.
I would love to try manna.
Yeah. If you maybe we'll find some on the lawn on the way to church in the morning. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I'm excited for all of it. I'm excited for the message. I guess we're not quite halfway through the 7 wonderings of the world. We have small groups that continue to meet. I know we have the information on our website, and I really appreciate. So this Sunday also we'll take some time to vote on the name change, right? Going from Prairie Heights to, help me out,
Journey Fellowship.
I promise that's going to stick in my brain one of these times, but
once you get it never leaves.
Yeah, Journey Fellowship. So we'll be talking about that this Sunday as well. So another reason to show up, and we'll have a conversation about that at some point during or after the service, but for sure before we can eat, so we get the business done, right? Otherwise,
I would think so.
Yeah, every lesson I've learned as a child and raising children, if we do eat and then try to do anything afterwards, it's going to go sideways. So
right, the wheels come off the wagon.
Yeah. I think anything else? Anything else you can think of that's happening?
Oh gosh,
everything.
No, I just I'm excited to be there 2 weeks in a row. So I will be there live again this week. So I love it. I love hanging out with you guys. I love the Fargo campus as well, whatever we want to call it, geographical location. So
and as we continue to expand and grow together as the two Bismarck and Fargo campuses coming together, I think this is an exciting time. We'll talk more about that here as well. I'm sure down the road I'd love to get more input about and what's happening in Fargo.
Sure.
and continue to share things that way too. So with that, wish everybody a happy day. What are we on? Tuesday the 16th? Been a rainy day here. We actually had thunder yesterday. How about you guys in Fargo?
Raining off and on all day. I didn't hear thunder, but that doesn't mean there wasn't.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You work in loud environments, I suppose, sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, God bless everybody. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.